Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. It's going to be a fun one today. Well, I always think that my projects are fun, but this one is fashioned after a card that I put together. It's called the Hexagon pop-up card or something. And I put it together and shared it sort of like mid-February on my blog. By the way, this is my website. So if you visit there, you can find the actual card and photos of it. But it's a Hexagon pop-up card. And these things are trendy right now. They're so cool. So you basically push down the middle and you can close it. And so I just got crazy with the same elements, and I made an easel card that I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to walk you through how to make it. I'm so excited. What do I want to share besides that? Sorry, I'm going to close something on my computer here. What else do I want to tell? Oh, I want to tell you about our moderators. We have Trisha and Lisa. We have Trisha Josephs on YouTube, and we have Lisa Marshall on Facebook, and they are here with us to help me out because while I am doing my lives, I'm not very good at paying attention to the comments. I do see names roll through. I see comments once in a while, but I can't read them all that quickly. So it's really, really fun to have them with me because I feel like I'm taking care of you and your questions and things that you have, to share while we're doing the live. So thank you to Trisha and Lisa. Yay! If you have questions for them, make sure that you write their name. You can tag Trisha by putting the @ the A with a circle around it, and then starting to type her name. It's March 1st today, you guys. So many new things with the Stampin' Up! Store. We have a set of online exclusives projects. In fact, or products. In fact, I have one that I'm going to be using today, and I forgot to list it in the supplies, you guys. This is crazy. The Irresistible Bloom stamp set. There's an image in there. It's like a little speckly stamp. And I'm going to be using that in the cart. So when this live is done, I'm going to quickly go over to my blog and try to edit it so that I can add that in there. But yeah, lots of new stuff in this online exclusives area. So you'll want to go over to the online store. And you can access that by visiting my blog and then clicking on any button that says shop. I think it was it Virginia that asked why the red? Well, sometimes, the card has green in it, but there's also a pop of red in there. And so sometimes I like to do the secondary color. So I'm wearing the red today. Plus I love the color red. All right. Well, I love green too. What else do I want to share? If you have never come to my lives before, I welcome you with open arms. Thank you so much for joining. And to all of you, if you give the thumbs up, you click like, whatever, love, that sort of thing, subscribe to my channel, all of that, it helps me out. It helps me to share even more. So continue to do those things. If you do happen to share this video, comment that you shared, because your comments get you into a prize drawing. Now on that note, let's get started on this. We have a supply list. You do not have to take a screenshot of this. You can just wait until my blog post goes live, which is in a little over an hour at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. And right now it's around 11 a.m. Central Time. So a little over an hour, you'll be able to access this. The link is right now in the description of the YouTube video for that blog post. But if you click on it, you're not going to be able to see anything yet. 12:15 it will show up, and then you can download this PDF. It tells you the measurements. It tells you the supplies that we're using. It tells you the date and the title of the project, along with having some visuals to show you what it's going to look like. So I love this. You guys are chiming in. Nova Scotia, Kentucky, North Carolina. It's so fun to hear where you're from. Thank you. And I love hearing about the weather too. Oh, France. Hello, Therese. Good to see you pop up there. Okay, so let's go down to the desktop. I do want to tell you what else. Oh, I forgot to mention tape as well as the Irresistible Bloom. So I'm going to bring you down to my desktop now. Actually, I have to zoom out. Oh my gosh, my desktop is, hang on, had a lot of stuff on there. Okay, now we can zoom down. There we are. If only you guys could see what's happening behind the scenes. So this is the card that we're going to make, and these are the two products that I forgot to mention. You'll need some tape, It could be washi tape, it could be whatever kind of tape, doesn't matter. And then the Irresistible Blooms, this speckle. If you have another stamp set that has a speckle in it, you could substitute that. We're just using the speckle. And here is the card. So it looks like a little chip going into some guacamole dip because it says Holy Guacamole, right? And then you open it up and you're like, oh, look at this. It's an easel card. So that way you can see the guacamole and these large red hot peppers at the same time inside the card. All of this is Stampin' Up! Product and it's current. So yay, you can get it all and you can make it. All right, thanks Cindy for sharing. So yeah, let's start piecing this together. The main stamp set that inspired all of this is the Taco Fiesta stamp set. This is $1 million stamp set, which was the Erica Serwin helped to design this stamp set. She's an amazing person, by the way, very creative. I'm in a all-star tutorial group with her, and she always has the most awesome projects. Anyways, so Taco Fiesta is her set, and just love it. I love this set. I think it's because I've been in a salsa mood lately. I've been having chips and salsa and black beans, and I don't know, for some reason it's just really fun. So this here is the card according to directions that I got from V Tran, who is one of my team members. And then this is one that I came up with before I got directions from her. So I like to try to create things before I actually get the directions from somebody. So kind of fun, right? Chips and salsa, and that has like little tomatoes and some cilantro in there and the guacamole. This one I did emboss the guacamole to give it some texture. This one I forgot to. But yeah, if you didn't see that blog post, go over and check out those photos and then seek out V for directions for that card on how to put that type of card together. For this one, we want to start with our basic white, and we're going to use thick basic white because it is going to be the base of our card. And we're going to cut it in half down the middle this way. So it's our 8.5 by 11 cardstock. We're going to cut it this way. So at the 4 1/4 mark, which will be half of 8.5. And I think I need to, hang on, I'm going to scoot some stuff over here. And I'm going to zoom out just a bit because we're really close again now. Crazy. There we go. All right. So we're cutting with our dark blade. You can use that for another card and then just use scraps for the other white pieces you need. Or you could cut from this piece for the other pieces because you're going to need a little strip that is 3/4 of an inch tall by 4 1/4. And then you're going to need another scrap for stamping your sentiment and punching it out. For this one, we need to score it in half. So we're going to score at the 5.5 inch mark with our light gray blade now. And then we're going to score again halfway through that amount, and half of 5.5 is 2 3/4 inches. So now we have the folds that will create that easel. So this pops it up like that, pops it into place. This piece is going to go across here and hold it, and it has to be lifted up with dimensionals a little bit. I love the little clover there, Mir. All right, and next you're going to need some other pieces. Let's see here. So besides our basic white thick, you're going to need some garden green. I think the garden green and the parakeet party just work really well together for colors. This is going to be our guacamole. This is going to be our dish. And because we also need the front part of our dish, we have another piece of garden green. And we have some designer paper. So the designer paper comes from, and by the way, all the measurements are on that PDF. The designer paper comes from a pack of paper that is in the mini catalog. It's called Enjoy the Journey. Oh, got stickies, adhesive little globules. Globules. So now we have the paper. And this was something that you could also earn for free with a $50 purchase during Celebration. In the latter half of Celebration, I think it was in February where they added this. So you can see all the fun papers. We've got like a little mountain design here, and that's where I got that southwestern little design on the back side of that. Crazy, right? And then we have clouds in the sky, and these look like chips to me. Don't those look like nacho chips? Little corn chips, I should say. And then you have the trees and some fun green stripes. Sorry, yeah, I did not separate these out. And this is, here we have like a sunset view, and you know, zigzags. And then on this piece, we've got kind of more of a nighttime view with some stars on the back. And I think, how many sheets did I do so far? 1, 2, oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing one. What one am I missing? Oh, this one right here. Because there's 6 double-sided designs, 12 sheets, and there's the other one. So lots of fun, bright colors in this pack. It's a must-have, I have to say. I love it. All right, so we're going to move this over to the back here because it takes up a lot of room. You'll also need to have some scraps of Poppy Parade, and that's for the hot peppers. Hi, Carol. And then we have a scrap of Garden Green, and that's for the pepper stem, and then a scrap of the So Saffron. And this is the color that I used for the tortilla or corn chips or whatever. All right, so we got all our pieces cut and ready, and now we're going to do some die cutting. So I'm just going to fold first along these crease lines, and I'm actually going to fold in both directions because I want this to be able to flatten down when the card is flat, but then I also want it to pop up. So it needs to be, this one has to be a very flexible fold on the front. Okay. So this is going to be hand cut. This is going to be punched and punched and cut, ready and punched. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's do some die cutting. What dies are we using? We are going to be using the die set that is called Basic Borders. The Basic Borders comes with 6 different dies, and this is the one I used for the bowl or the container for the guacamole. Good to see you too, Doris. You got some other fun designs in here, like here's a zigzag, here's something that looks like fluff or clouds or whatever. You've got kind of like a point. Yeah, just some fun dies for that. Let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I've got some little sticky pieces on here. This is my, what is it? Hang on, let me grab it. My Post-it tape. I've been loving the Post-it tape lately, you guys. Post-it tape. Yay. Alrighty. So let's set up our platform. So we're going to have platform number 1, die adapter number 2, cutting plate number 3, and let's line these up. So we're going to cut these both at the same time. And the reason for that is that when you have these cut at the same time, they're going to line up after you shift them. One won't be down lower than the other. So we're just going to line this up like a little smile at the very top of these 2 pieces. In fact, this one, hang on a minute. We're going to bring this one up a little bit higher. That's what we do. That's what we do. We're going to bring it up a little bit higher. It is 1/8 of an inch away from the other one. And that way we can shove it down to the bottom and line it up easier. So, is that what we do? Yeah. Okay. That, well, you know what? Just do it all at once lined up. Let's just do it all at once lined up because I should have had you cut this a little bit smaller. Otherwise it's hard to see. So we're going to line that up so that this is swooping through the middle and it looks pretty even. And then you're going to take your tape or sticky notes or something like that, and you're just going to stick it down. And mine is not staying in place. Okay, that's probably because this thing got bent a little bit. Let's try that again. Line it, stick it down. I can stick it in the middle too. I think I'll just stick it in the middle, Rachel. Good idea, because you're wasting time. All right, and then we need the other cutting plate. It wasn't holding on the ends, you guys. All right, crank it through. You got your 2 cut pieces, And then you know what we can do? We'll just take and alter the distance between them. Peel this off carefully. Those guys are sticky. Okay, so when you put these together, you can just shift one down lower than the other. We'll just do it that way. Okay, so there's part of the bowl. We need to do the top part now. And the top part needs to go with the guacamole. So we've got the larger base, the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 garden green, and then we've got the 4 by 4 parakeet party. And we'll line this up with our die now. In fact, I'm going to put them together at the top here. And I'm going to make this die go downward now. So you're putting just that top edge right along the top parts of the cardstock. Like that. Tape it down in place and put the cutting board or cutting mat on top. Oh my goodness sakes, I'm not having luck with my tape, you guys. Let's try this in the middle more. I think my die is too long. There, whack it down. Okay, now we're ready. All right. There are a lot of cute cards coming from this stamp set. Are you talking about the Taco Fiesta, Denise? Denise and Anita look like they're having a conversation about Taco Fiesta. It is really a cute stamp set, I tell you. So now that we've got those cut at the same spot, we just shift it down and it lines up, okay? All right, we have to do one more thing with this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine before we put it away. And that is, we need to bring out an embossing folder that's very important for this, because this embossing folder looks like guacamole. Painted texture, all right? So when we put our parakeet party in here, it's gonna give it a very pasty look, okay? So we need to get rid of 2 and 3, put it just on platform number 1, put the seam going in, and then grab our gray plate, which is number 4, and crank it through. And this will help with our 3D embossing folders. If you've purchased an embossing folder in the past from Stampin' Up, and it's a thicker one, you need to be using your gray plate. This is a thicker one. And look at this. Isn't that fun? It looks like guacamole. It's perfect for it. Let's bring these out of the way and throw things on the floor at the same time. We'll get that later. All right, so let's start doing some stamping next. Let's bring in some stamping and then we'll do some punching. Okay, stamping. We're going to be using the stamp that says Holy Guacamole, and it says Holy Guacamole, it's your birthday. But I decided I do not need this to be a birthday card, so I'm going to tape over the portion that says it's your birthday. And this is where my eyesight is tested because I am 54. I don't have the same eyes I had before. All right, so we've taped that over. Hopefully it's not going to get any ink on it, on the it's your birthday portion. Grab your early espresso ink. This ink is a great dark neutral for this card. We're going to ink up the Holy Guacamole. Then we're going to peel off the tape. See how the tape, I'll zoom in here. See how the tape has some ink on it? We don't want any of that. Oh, good. It didn't get anywhere else. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to put it in the garbage because I don't want to pick up ink on my fingers. So now we've just inked up the Holy Guacamole portion. And we're going to stamp that onto our white scrap. Oh, you already saw what I've got here. That's the whale. All right, so we've stamped that down. We're going to stamp down our pepper. Also, there's a little tiny pepper. There's actually, I think, 3 sizes of peppers in that set. Where is it? There's 1, 2, I thought there was a third one. Maybe not. Maybe just 1, 2. but cute, so cute. Okay, so ink that up, and we're going to stamp that right underneath, so it's centered underneath the holy guacamole part. Then we want to stamp our You Spice Up My Life. And we're going to stamp that, I believe, off to the left. Yes, off to the left on this strip here, but centered from top to bottom. And that'll just create balance on the card when you stamp it off to the left. We've also got one other stamp, and this one's going to be done in a few different colors. We're going to use this in our Parakeet Party. We're going to use it in, actually, yeah, 4 different colors. Did I say 3 or, yeah, 4 different colors. So we're going to stamp onto these pieces here. Crushed Curry, Parakeet Party, Poppy Parade if you want your guacamole to have a little spice to it. And if we're going to have hot peppers, hot red peppers in there, we might as well. And then we also need, where did I use the, oh, we also need this color with that. Why did I say, oh, did I not, maybe I didn't list it. Hopefully I didn't list it. I have Garden Green sitting out, but I don't think I listed that one. I did not. Good, because we don't need that one. Okay, so let's start with our lightest color. We're going to clean off our stamp in between. I'm just going to bring out my Stampin' Scrub. You could use baby wipes. You could use the chamois, you know, whatever works for you for cleaning your stamps. They are water-based inks, so it should be pretty easy. So this one's going to get stamped onto our So Saffron. And I'm just going to stamp it kind of here and there, randomly. Okay, and I could do this whole strip if I want to, because if I want to have more chips or whatever, I could stamp a few more. In fact, we'll just do a little bit more here just in case. Okay, so there's that color, and then we're going to clean it off and dry it. And now we're going to make sure it's clean and use it with our Parakeet Party ink, which means we close up this one because we're not using it. Stamping hygiene. Lee is loving this. She's got 3 green hearts going across there. Plus it's March, so it's time for green hearts, right? Okay, this one's going to get stamped onto the guacamole layer. And it's tone on tone, so you don't see a lot of it, but it just kind of gives it the look of more texture, right? Okay, so there's that. And clean off the stamp, dry it off. We're closing this up, moving on to our 3rd color. We're going to do Poppy Parade next. And Poppy Parade on green. It doesn't look real strong of a red, but it's definitely red versus the brown we're going to do. Now, this is where you add a little bit of spice into your guacamole. So we're just going to add a little bit here and there. And, you know, we don't see the bottom of this, so I don't necessarily have to stamp down there much. But just a little bit of hot red in there, right? Okay, and then we're going to move over to the last color, which we're going to stamp onto the chips too. And this is going to be our pepper, because you got to have pepper on the corn chips. All right, so we'll put some on here, because you got to have pepper in the salt in the guacamole too, just a little bit. And then we got to have some on the chips. Oh my gosh, so yummy. Right? And you can stamp off and then stamp again to get a lighter version of one of the colors. I love it. You guys are talking about how the stamp set wasn't quite your thing until, but there are so many things. If you just take and Google the name of a stamp set, or put it into Pinterest or whatever, you know, do a search that way, you're going to find lots of inspiration. So be careful. Because you're going to want to buy it all. I tell you, every time I see a stamp set that I didn't think that I liked used in a new, fresh way, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I need to have it. So, but this seriously is cute. And it has a masculine touch to it too. Like this stamp set, I mean, you could totally do this with guy cards, right? So if you're looking for a stamp set for guy cards, let's layer things up. Let's add this now to, oh, I got to grab my adhesive. Let's use our multi-purpose, which I have transferred into my little precision tip bottle. I love my precision tip bottle. Okay, so we're going to use this on the back side just because it's textured and I don't want to flatten out anything by using my seal tape on here. So we're going to add this to our bowl. We have the guacamole in the bowl, and now we want to have this piece and this piece. And I'm gonna attach this piece first because it does sit lower. So let's go ahead and I can do that with seal adhesive. And that's gonna go here. And then we can attach this whole thing to the top of our guacamole that's already in there, and it creates the look of our guacamole being inside of a bowl. So fun. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh my gosh, Rachel. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, there's bound to be some mistake that she does. She does it every time, that woman. Okay. Oh, and my lamp is falling. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is where everything starts going wrong, Rachel. I do that. I talk to myself as if I'm not me anymore when I get upset. Okay, I have to pull that away because you know what we forgot to do? And I did it with the trimmer on my original card, which is why it had a straight cut, but I wasn't going to do the trimmer this time. I was going to use just my snips. And so it's okay. We're going to be able to do this. So I'm just going to cut into here with my snips. I'm going to be careful though. If you have a really wide scissors, like a scissors with, oh gosh, you know, it doesn't come to a point. It comes more like to a rectangle on the end. Don't use it for this. You want to use something that comes to a sharp point because you do not want to have a funny looking cut. Okay, so we're going to cut into here and we're going to kind of make it look not straight. Okay, it's gonna give us more of a guacamole dip look. Let's grab our scissors now and we're gonna cut some chip shapes. You guys are all like, oh no, what did you do, Rachel? So you're just gonna make like an isosceles triangle that isn't even. So it's not even an isosceles, it's just a tall triangle. All right, a tall triangle. And then you wanna round the ends like this. And that's really the shape of a chip. And they're all different. So you could do another one that's maybe, I don't know, shorter or longer or whatever. Your choice. You could do a couple of these. You could do more and more. Then you grab your bone folder and you go like this and you start curling the ends so that the chip looks more like a chip. It's so fun. And on my hexagon cards, I did both sides of the chips because, you know, depending on which side of the box you look at. But on this card, it's going to go flat to the surface. So yeah, let's do another one. Let's just kind of see what this one looks like. Curled. Maybe we'll put two in there. So you can stick them both in there. Into the dip. That's a hungry person, right? Thanks, Pam. She goes, your oops, I think you meant to write oops, help us to learn what we need to do when we mess up. So yeah, you know, just pull it off right away or redo it. No, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this glue back in here. Okay, and stick that down. All right, so at least we have this pulled away so we can make that cut in there. And now we can stick these on here however you want. If you want your chip to come up and away, you might want to have a dimensional under it. If you want it to be flat, just stick a little bit of glue under there. So like on this one here, I'm just going to add a touch of glue under there. But I just want to add the glue to the middle because I want this curve of the chip to stay in there. Let's do another one. Let's stick that one in there. And this time, hey, let's throw in a dimensional. Let's grab a dimensional back here. And I'm going to put it over the top of the one that's already sitting there, just so that it has, excuse me, just so that it has, oh my gosh, It has something to hold that in place too, and it's connecting to the guacamole base. Okay, there. So there's our chips in our dip. Thanks, Susan. Oh, I'm glad you guys think this is fun. And you know what? I think it's more realistic when you have that curvier little, little dip in there, little cut. So cut it curvy. We didn't need the trimmer. We just needed to peel it back up and stick it down. Mistakes sometimes are good things. Okay, now we can attach this to our card. And our card base actually has a little bit of white down here to allow room for our holy guacamole section to be on here. Plus, I think when it kicks up and attaches to this spot, it's better to have white there than to have this go all the way to the bottom. My original thought was to bring it all the way to the bottom, but I feel like it disappears too much. So we'll attach this by putting adhesive right along the bottom of this piece and right along the top of the lower section. I knew I was running out of adhesive. I'm going to get to the end of this during our video, I think. And I think I have. You guys know how to change these things out. It's so easy. You just pop this off. You pull this out. I have another one to use up too, so I'm going to stick that one on. You might have to change this out twice during the video. And then you pop this one into place, so that the words stamp and seal are towards the grippy area. Okay, there. So this adhesive goes along the top of the lower section just below the score line, and this adhesive goes along the bottom of that, so that when they come together, you've got two strips of adhesive, okay? All right, so let's lay this down. Let's leave about 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't have to be exact. We're leaving that at the bottom, and we're lining the bowl so that these edges here line up with the sides of the card base. Okay, so now it can pop up and down, and no adhesive is back here to get in the way. I know, it's making us all hungry, isn't it? Catherine goes, now I want guacamole. I tell you, I have been in a chip dip salsa mood lately. Okay, let's start coloring this. That's what I forgot. I forgot my blends. Got my blends markers here. Oh, that's sweet sorbet. Hang on. Here they are. Poppy Parade. So I'm going to use my light Poppy Parade first. I'm just going to, yep. All right, we're going to color that first, and we're just going to go close to the edges, but don't try to color too long and hard with blends on this little tiny guy, because this pepper has thin lines. And the more you color with blends, the more they soak into the cardstock, and they start to, kind of go out a little bit, not a ton, but enough. So be really careful when you're coloring this little pepper. Okay. So there we go. We've got our pepper. I added light first, and then I added dark at the base and towards the tip, so that you can still see the light at the top as if it's kind of a highlight. Do you see the stem there? If that's bugging you, I didn't color it on my other one, but you can access our Stampin' Write markers too. You can take and color with those. You can color with watercolor pencils. So you can add a touch of color that way. You could also use blending brushes. I'm sorry, blending pens, and open up your ink pads. I think I shared this. Did I share this last week? Where you squeeze it, and it creates a well of color in there, and then you just take your blending pen and scoop it up and color that way. So there's lots of ways that you can color. I chose the blends markers for this. I just like the smooth look. All right, so that's ready to go. Now we want to punch it out. So we're going to use our double oval punch to line everything up. Punch that out. We're going to pop that up with dimensionals. I'll do a couple on the back here. And we'll stick that down onto our area here. Now, I just realized this is 4 layers thick here. We've got the designer paper, the garden green. There's a bit of the parakeet party in there, and another layer of garden green before we land on the white base. So you may actually want to do this. Let's peel up these dimensionals. Don't tear it. You did some nice coloring and stamping on that, Rachel. Don't tear it. Okay. So instead, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. In fact, I think this is what I did on my other card. Cut it in half, line it up where I want it to go, put a dimensional there. Let's stick another dimensional here. I did. Oh my gosh. Rachel, this is what you did on the other card and you just forgot. That's because I made it like a week ago. Okay, so we've only got dimensionals under here and they come to pretty much the same height. Here, I'll turn it this way. Pretty much the same height as the amount of cardstock that is on there. So the bottom part's going to look lifted, but the top part, which I'm just going to put a little adhesive there, is not. It's going to look flat. There! That's what I was going to do anyway. All right, so there's that. We've got some twine, and then we're almost done except for some jewels on the front part of the card. So for our twine, it comes in this multiple pack. It's the, oh, look at that. I got one of those fun, forgot what they're called. Yeah, those are fun embellishments. I wish I could think of the name of them. These are the 22 through 24 in color basic twine, baker's twine pack. And this is the parakeet party color. And I have my grid paper. It's an older grid paper that's no longer available. Sorry, I just wanted to use flowers today. But it doesn't have the measurements on it. So we're going to just use our ruler and we'll measure out 24, what did I say, 27? 28. 28 inches of baker's twine. And it's a lot, but I wrapped it around twice. So I'm opening up the whole card, kind of starting here, and I'm wrapping once, twice, and now I'm just going to kind of shimmy this so that it's more centered. And I'm going to tie it in a bow. And I'm not using any adhesive. When I do my ribbons and my bows, I like to just use this ring finger here, and I push it down and hold it so it stays real firm, and then I do my bow or knot or whatever I need to do. And that finger I have trained to stay in place. That way, and you could use like temporary adhesive if you need to, but that way, if I want to, I can shift my bow over, my whatever I made, my knot, my bow, I can shift it over to a part in the card where it makes more sense to me. So there's that. Now let's open up the inside of the card and work on that. Okay, this is where our strip comes in, and this piece you want to have starting in an easel card. You want to have it starting kind of halfway through, and that will give you a good easel look. We're going to use either multiple dimensionals or, hi Pam, glad you made it, or we're going to use a strip of an edge of dimensionals, and that's a lot quicker to apply, so don't throw away those edges. Just pull the whole thing off. And now you've got your whole length covered in one fell swoop. Is that the saying? There we go. So now we use our lines on our grid paper, and because this one does not have a ruler on it, I'm just going to quickly measure. Hang on, things are falling. And I'm going to mark it with, here's my pencil. So I'm going to mark it here and here. So in those areas, this line and this line, that's going to give me my halfway point. I know you guys can't see it because I have too many little marks on here from all the little speckles, but I can see them. I've got a halfway mark here and here, and so I'm just going to take and line this up so that the very top of it goes to that spot. Just like that. And then my easel, when propped up, will sit and it will have a nice equilateral triangle there. It just gives it a good angle, that's all. If you have it way too high, then sometimes, I don't know, and sometimes it's too low. Just halfway, I think, is the best. Okay, so there's that. And now we have some peppers to add. So I made these peppers, and a lot of you already guessed it because you saw, but I made it with the Whale Builder punch and with the bow punch. All right, here we go. So what you do is you take and punch out your whale, and you want the whole whale. It doesn't matter if you have the other things that are surrounding it, but you want the whole whale. And then you take your paper snips and you're going to cut off. Is this a dorsal fin? No, I don't know. You're going to cut that off of each piece. You're just going to go with the curve of the whale's body. And then on this end, you're going to start here and you're just going to make a little rounded end by removing the tail of the whale. And that's how you get your fun pepper. I have to tell you, I am not, I can't handle spice. Like even medium salsa is too much, but my husband is the opposite. And I swear, if he was dared, he would do one of those pepper contests, you know, where you eat it and you see if you can live. He even grew hot peppers for a while, and you can only have so many before you're like, I can't have any more. And yeah. So anyways, here's our peppers. So this card is for him, right? So there we've got our pepper top, or our peppers, but we need our tops for our peppers. So that's when this punch comes in handy. And we're going to punch out 2 of the larger branches. And get it out of there. Okay, there we go. After you've got your 2 larger branches, then you're going to snip. And you're going to snip. Now I have to try to remember where I snipped. I think it was, hang on, let me peek here. It was down here. Okay, so you're going to take and snip. Gosh, do I remember? Yeah. Okay, so you're going to snip down here. And you're just going to do like a curve instead of a straight line. You're going to do a curve. So it looks like that. So you're removing that leaf, but you're curving it. So you have kind of a scoop. And you're going to do the same thing here, where you're curving it and you have kind of a little scoop. And it's probably better if you see it against white. Do you see that now? And then you just take and snip this. And you can snip it straight. You can snip it however you want. And that becomes the stem. So that way you can still have the look of a really detailed stem. Thanks. Is it Eva or Ev? I think it's Eva, right? Thank you, Eva. All right, so then you just put a little bit of glue here at the end. And it's punch art. Remember punch art? And then you just stick it on there. Let it dry a little minute. We'll do the same thing over here. So I'll do it once again for you. But it's basically the bottom half of the leaf. Okay, so you're going to curve this one. And then you're going to take these 2 and cut them together at the same time. And remove them. And you've got that little thing like that. Let's put some glue on the end. So now you need this stamp set that's in the online exclusives just for the speckle. But of course there are some other stamp sets that have speckles, but I swear this is like the best one for pepper, and I don't know, it just looked the best. So you'll want it. And it's available today. Yay! Susan wrote, my husband did one of those pepper eating contests, got to the ghost pepper, and what happened? I'm sorry, I gotta go scroll back here. It disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. His eyes were watering at 3 glasses of milk. Oh my gosh. He said, never again. Yeah. I don't think Tim would do well, maybe he would do it. I did say that he would try a contest, wouldn't I? I don't know. He likes to challenge himself, though. We're going to put one of these on flat, and we're just going to tuck it under here like that. And then the other one we'll put on with dimensionals to give it distance between the one we just had. Yeah, I will not ever, ever, ever put these things in my mouth. But I will put them on a card because they're really cute. We have some finishing touches. Basically, these guys here. These embellishments are supposed to be Calypso Coral, but because they're kind of multicolored, iridescent-y, right? They're the iridescent pastel gems. Because they have that multicolor iridescent look to them, you can kind of pair them with lots of different reds. So this is my go-to tool for doing embellishment adhering. So we're going to push it and pick it up, stick it in this corner up here, do another one that's bigger, and we're going to do that one up here, and then we'll do a big and a small. Keep it even, big and a small, big and a small, and we're going to put that down here. And that was another reason for having that little strip of white, so that we could have some embellishments under there that stood out more. There's our finished inside and our finished outside. Isn't it fun, you guys? Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to be creative. I hope I used all the tools that I said I was going to. I think I did. And I think I just have to add tape and irresistible blooms to my supply list. I'm not going to be able to add it to the PDF, but just know, go back to that blog post and check it out. Okay, so some things to tell you. Online exclusives, I want to show you those. So I'm going to go back to the website and we're going to go to the store. Oh, wrong thing, Rachel. Don't click there. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So here's the store, stampyourartout.com. You can access that without even going to my blog if you want to. If you're shopping from some other demonstrator or you're a demonstrator yourself, it's stampyourartout.com. When you're here, there's, I'm sorry, hang on. It's not under specials yet. I don't know why. I thought it was under specials. It's not, but you can find it in the menu or you can click right here, of course. But when the banner disappears, menu, shop products, online exclusives. It has its own section in the store. So you'll click there. This is a new thing that we've got started with Stampin' Up. Oh, Snowy Mom, I love it. You add a little pepper emoji in there. It's a new thing that we started, and basically every quarter you're going to see new products replenished into the online exclusives. When a product sells out, it sells out. If it sticks around for a whole year, it sticks around for a whole year. You know what I mean? Like it's just available online until it's gone. Really fun stuff. There's a tropical leaf punch, you guys. There's some really neat things in here. So you'll want to peruse the online exclusives. Here's that stamp set. Oop, that's the French version. For those of you that speak French, that's the one you want. But there, yeah, you'll want to peek through here, and I want to show you something. Okay, I'm going to scroll now. You ready? Oh yeah, they've also included kits in here, but look, 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 look. At the very bottom, look what came back, you guys. I have been missing circle punches. They brought back the 2-inch and the 1 3/4-inch circle punches, so those are available to you. So yeah, I don't have them in front. I thought I had them in front of me. So yay. So you'll want to check out the online exclusives and see what there is. Also, what else do we have to share with news before we go to prizes? New kits. There's a new kit in the kits collection. I'm going to find that without making you dizzy, and we will go there and see it. Shop products, kits collection. Okay, here we go. Now I'll bring you over there. Didn't want to make you dizzy. In the kits collection, we have a new kit. Look at it. It's so fun. It's called the Kaleidoscope Kit. Colorful Kaleidoscope. So it makes these really fun kaleidoscopy looking cards, all occasion type cards. Here's the stamp set that comes with it. So you've got a thank you, birthday, thanks. Oh, I already said thank you. Yeah. May your day be filled with light and love. That's nice. You could say that for any occasion, really. So that kit is available as of today as well. And then I do want to bring you over to my blog. This is the February 17th blog post called Guacamole Hexagon Pop-Up Cards. So if you want to check that out, you can. And also, if we just go to, let's click on the title at the top, and then we'll just go to the latest blog post. The latest one actually is the one I put today, which talks about a new bundle of video classes. So By the Bay, which I'm going to feature next week because we have a blog hop next week, have some fun cards to share with you. But the By the Bay video class bundle is now available. You can purchase it for $15 US, or you can earn it with an order. All of the names that are listed here are the people that are in my tutorial group. So if one of them is your demonstrator, you can purchase this tutorial or you can order from them to earn it. And yeah, so there's that. That just became available today as well. Let's go to the desktop once again, and I'm going to bring in prizes. Last week's prizes. Sorry about all the mess here. Last week's prizes were these fun things. Oops, there we go. Packets of papers from the, what's that? Why is my bra straps giving me trouble today? This is from the Rain or Shine pack of paper. So I've got a quarter pack of each of those. And then the other option was to get some embellishments with it. So these are the embellishments that are left. We have a pack of iridescent pearls. We have the white frayed ribbon. So these are the choices. And we did have somebody who whose name was called last week and didn't claim their prize. It was drawn during the live. So I do want to say to Marilyn Elrod, you were on YouTube with us last week. If you're here with us this week and you hear your name right now, you'll want to reach out to me at that email address and tell me which of these 3 piles you want. And then this will be also the choice for the 2 other names that I give to you. So we're going to go over to the computer now, and I'm going to pull up those names. All right, winners that were drawn this morning from After Live comments. So yes, you can win if you're an After Live commenter. We had comments on, is this YouTube? Can't tell. Yep, these were YouTube comments. So Deb Fitzgerald. Oh, I should have called out your name right when I switched over to Deb Fitzgerald. Yay, you won. You were an After Live commenter on YouTube. And then our After Live or During Live commenter on Facebook was Michael Lawrence. And thank you both for your sweet comments that you shared. So both of you get in on the prizes that I just shared. I'll bring you back to the desktop there so you can see. So these are the prizes once again, and there's my email address. So reach out to me if you are one of those 3 names. I also have some past prize winners before Tricia draws the names here. I have some past prize winners that still have not claimed their prizes. Marcia McCabe, Kimberly Barbish, Mary Lou Tiger, Susan DeVideo, Patty Sharkley, and Connie York. And Connie York, I'm going to be deleting your name after today if I don't hear from you. Sorry, you guys. Trisha Josephs just called out winners for today, and Trisha, you're gonna have to say those names again soon because I have to tell you what the prizes are, you guys. You guys all know the winners on YouTube right now, but Facebook people don't know yet. So the winners for today, because we're gonna draw a couple live winners, we've got paper pumpkin kits, and I'm not gonna send it with the box because it cost me like almost twice as much. I don't know why. With the box, it costs more. I'm going to send it without the box if that's okay. But you can choose from a past paper pumpkin kit that I may have on hand. Don't choose a current one because the current ones for the current month or the month before or whatever, I'm still using or whatever. So, but you can pick ones from further back if you are the prize winner. So Trisha Josephs, I'm going to scroll through to see if I can find your comment again. And I'm going to highlight it. I think I'll be able to find it. And then once I see it, I can actually call out the names. Yeah, I'm not finding it. Okay, you're going to have to share it again, Trisha. I'm going to take this little guy off of here. These are just samples of kits, by the way. This is from the North Pole, Batter Up, Good Things Come in Small Packages. These are all kits that I do have on hand, so you could choose from those. I think she called it out now. There it is. All right, so we have our winners are Rosemary Schmidt and we have Nancy Clark. Congratulations, yay. So, I better put the prizes back out so you can see them. So basically you get to pick from a past paper pumpkin kit. All right, so congratulations to you two, Rosemary Schmidt and Nancy Clark. Yay! I don't think there's any other news that I wanted to share with you. We talked about everything going on. Happy March 1st to all of you. Next week I will be live. I'll be live again at 11 a.m. Central Time, so I hope that you stop back again. Please thumbs up if you can, and share all that good stuff. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your kindness, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you. I'm going to let you all go, and now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye, everyone.